Welcome back to the Breaking Barriers podcast. This is episode 15. And today we're talking about creating women's only spaces and what that feels like and why that matters.
You're Georgia.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hi, I'm Georgia.
I'm Megan.
Welcome back. Yes. We wanted to record this episode. We were going to record this episode anyway because Megan coached at an international event, the Women's International Parkour Weekend, which is run by Parkour Generations. This weekend just gone. It's currently Monday. And I took part. I was a participant. So we wanted to do a review anyway because we quite like doing that. We did it for Ladies in Leuven after we went to HAL 5 and we've done it after Project Underground. So often we do an episode before kind of leading up to it and if we feel like there's something to like discuss, like with Project Underground, we talked about how to fuel for a competition. That episode was really popular, actually.
It did really well. And I think because there was some essence of practical use to it, that's why people were drawn into it. So yeah, that was a really good episode.
And then we enjoyed doing the review. I think it's also a nice way for us to download like what just happened, how it went.
Yeah, we do a lot of journaling, like before and after events and things like this, and putting our thoughts down, things we enjoyed, things we didn't enjoy. So I guess this is kind of like a verbal journal.
True.
Yeah.
But obviously this weekend has also been a very heavy weekend of reading the recent news in parkour. I can't even say it out loud, but I found out on Saturday morning, Megan had already left the house and had gone because Megan was one of the lead coaches. So it was kind of weird to go to a parkour event, but I also felt like it was actually a really good thing to go to, and it gave me a certain respite and hope, I guess, because it was kind of like being thrown straight into parkour training, literally like probably 45 minutes after.
Yeah, without much time to think, to be honest.
Yeah.
You had to switch modes, didn't you?
Yeah, I was quite upset, but then I got off the tube and I just thought, I don't want it to taint this weekend. I can't control it, whether it does, but I had a slight inkling that actually a lot of the participants are a little bit older, not all, but a little bit older, a little bit different crowd that go to the Parkour Generations.
Yeah, they're not necessarily like members of the community, so to say, or like members of the wider community, should I say, because obviously they do parkour, they train parkour, but outside of that, I doubt they're on social media, and I doubt they're kind of like friends with people who are part of the community and things like that.
Yeah, they're kind of the type of people who either do this event as a fun event, like you might do a Tough Mudder once a year or something. So they don't necessarily train parkour all year round. Some absolutely do, but they're not following, in the nicest way possible, they're not following the latest update or the gossip, or so they just see it as another sport. Like some people
go
like
to a bit of social time.
Yeah. A lot of people come for the social time, and a lot of new people come. So there were also people who had never done parkour before.
Yeah, which was brilliant. It was so really cool. Nice to see. Yeah.
So I just felt a little bit calmer going into it, knowing I probably wasn't going to get a ton of questions about it, and I'm really grateful I didn't. Shout out to Sunny, who was coaching from Finland, who found out 15 minutes before she had to then turn around and lead the warm-up.
Yeah, and she did a very, very good job at it.
I didn't know. Like, I didn't say anything to Sunny because I didn't know if she knew. And when she led the warm-up, I thought she led it excellently. And afterwards, you told me that. And so, actually, I couldn't tell that she just...
And the warm-up was so fun as well. Like, I've taken a lot of ideas from that I can use in my own classes. So, shout out to Sunny for that as well.
So, the last thing on that we wanted to say was just that whilst we haven't spoken about it publicly, I'm not going to lie, this is extremely difficult for me to talk about. But we just want to say that we acknowledge that this is a really difficult moment for everyone and in parkour, and that, our hearts go out to the victims and to anyone really affected by this, and that, we are thinking of you, our thoughts are with you, and whilst it's hard to put into words what to say, like, I think there's a lot of people saying some good stuff, a lot of people offering support or offering, people you can call, or SuperXXL put out the post about, like, you can reach out to them individually, and they've put all their individual Instagrams so you can pick who you feel most comfortable talking to. And I think what we were just discussing was, like, in a moment like this, it's okay to slow down, it's okay to be offline, it's okay to not want to open social media. It's important not to just rush to make big decisions, but also it's okay to feel whatever you feel, I guess. And what we were saying was just like check in with your friends, look after each other, and yeah, I don't know if there's anything you
come
want to
together
add.
as a community. I think that's sorry. I think that's the main thing about parkour. We're such a strong community, so now is the time to use it and utilise it if you want it. If you don't want it, that's also fine. And obviously, make sure that you tell people your boundaries. Boundaries are very important. If you don't want to talk about it and you want to process it yourself, so be it, that's fine. But yeah. Shall we
You always
crack
get
on?
ill when you come to London.
I know, I don't know why. I don't even know. It's not
me.
even an illness. It's your house. Help. Let me out. She says as she coughs.
Yeah.
I come to London, get off the train, blocked nose. It's like, what is going on? Anyway.
They're trying to get you to leave.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a cold though. I think the air is different. I've got something. The Manchester air is not like this, and I hardly ever get it. Well, I do get it in Manchester, don't get me wrong. But when I come here, it's like, oh my god,
Immediate.
I just can't
I mean, the
escape.
air is definitely different because it's a huge city. 11 million people.
Yeah.
11 million? Yeah, 11
I
million
think
people.
getting on the tube all the time, I'm probably like touching other people's
Germs
and all sorts.
Yeah.
Lovely. Anyway.
But yeah, so the Women's International, it's kind of, yeah, I know people are talking about women's spaces a lot online, and he put out a really good story, Arthur from FAP, and I messaged him and said, like, thank you, because it was a really good story, but about, like, I think women's only spaces sometimes do get a bit of, what's the phrase? It's not slack. Why am I thinking slack? A bit of, like...
The backlash.
Yeah. Because for two reasons come to mind for me. One is people thinking it's about creating separation, and actually it's not. And if you think it's that, then you've misunderstood that, like, there is a barrier to entry for women in parkour, and a women's only space can be like this way in to be like, oh, it is for me, I can do this. And then the whole point is that they go to jams, and we have so many examples of women who have come to our women's only classes, workshops, stuff like that, and then gone on to a super XXL jam, or then gone on to something else, to any other sort of mixed setting. The second reason I think they get a bit of backlash is sometimes people think it's like we're just only letting them or only encouraging them to do easy parkour. And it's like, no, if any good coach will meet the person where they're at. So some people coming into parkour who are too nervous to go to a jam may well need easier parkour to start with. Any good coach will progress them and will help them to progress. But sometimes it's okay to show up online and show some easy parkour, because some people need to see that to know that it's okay for them to do it. For some people, the idea of jumping to a lamppost is impossible, and it's something they actually don't want to do or will never get to that point, but they still might love parkour. And actually something I was reflecting on just now, I filmed a whole vlog of this weekend, and we just watched it about while we were having breakfast, and I show myself failing in it a bunch of times.
Yep.
And I don't even feel self-conscious about it, but it does just go into my head a bit like, should I feel self-conscious about it? And then, do you know what I was just thinking? I was like, no, I think it's really important to show me or anyone else sometimes also failing at something or being bad at something, because Instagram is such a highlights reel.
It is. And I think it gives visibility as well, like, you know, for the people who came this weekend who maybe only go to Whitborough and who only go to women's spaces, it gives them the opportunity to meet like-minded people, to see like the parkour that is normal for most people, and it's not like top level athletes. So I think it's just providing people with like an accessible space where they can feel comfortable and, you know, do stuff that is entry level, because people forget that there is always an entry level for anybody in the sport. Like, only a handful of people will go and do like the biggest jump on their first try at it. But for most people, they need that visibility of, you know, this is what comes first.
Yeah, and I think if you're someone who's very athletic, has done sport their whole life, maybe even to a competitive level, then you will find it a lot easier to just go straight to a jam or straight to like an advanced setting. But we must remember, and I think we all know, anyone who does parkour knows, parkour is also a very attractive sport to people who have never done any sport, because there isn't a specific hierarchy of levels, because it's so broad and creative, and it's often people who didn't love athletics or who don't love the gym who come to parkour. So, my God, then we do need like a way for them to come in that isn't just your Instagram reels and clips, or that isn't just an open jam where it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, parkour is very good for people who very enjoyable and very actually accessible to people who haven't done sports before. But then there were also some like people who've trained for quite a while at Whitworth this weekend. I made two friends that, if you watch our vlog, so we've just started a YouTube, this is a new thing, but if you watch our vlog, I have quite a few interactions with Hikari and Sandra. So Hikari from Japan, who competed a bunch of times at Oslo Movement Gathering. She's amazing. And Sandra, also amazing, from Germany.
Yeah.
Who speaks fluent Japanese, which is really cool.
So impressive. It was so like cool to watch them speak to each other, because Hikari didn't speak much English. She understood everything and she did speak English, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was to like a high level, but they were kind of having like private chats to each other in Japanese. For all we know, they could have been, you know, saying all sorts of stuff like that. Oh, that Georgia girl over there. But it was nice to see them interact the way they did with each other, and it was actually really sweet.
Yeah, they were really lovely. Together, they were good vibes. Very high level. But they're just there to have fun. It was like quite a chilled weekend of training, and for us at least. But equally, like, I did a really fun, like, standing on a rail, jump into like what do you call it? Like a chimney climb? Yeah.
Yeah, they called it like Spider-Man at Project Underground. That was like one of the challenges, wasn't it?
Is that what they called it?
I think it was like Spider-Man catch.
Into that, so like jump into it, and it was just like the perfect setup to try it.
There was a great split between beginners and intermediates, I think, or advanced.
Oh yeah, because I didn't see the beginners.
Yeah, like the split was pretty much like straight down the middle. So from a coaching perspective, it was great.
Because there was like 30 so people, and so about 15 in each group.
Yeah, because I sort of worried that like there would be like, I don't know, 25 beginners and only 5 like advanced. But the split was perfect, and I was actually really impressed by some of the advanced people. I didn't expect the level to be as high as it was. So it was really nice to, you know, utilise that and adapt my coaching to suit them. And I was really happy that I think I fulfilled that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So
this is a good segue. So, Megan, how was your experience coaching at Whitworth?
It was actually really nice. Like, to be honest, I can't think of anything bad to say about the weekend. So like in terms of my review, I had a brilliant time. Like, this is my first time at an international event other than when we went to Leuven, but obviously I wasn't coaching there. So in terms of coaching, this is the first time I've actually gone beyond where I've been since I was like 13. So this is kind of like my first step outside of my coaching comfort zone. And, you know, what an experience to have, and what a positive experience to be able to take forward now. So I hope this has kind of like set the tone for the rest of my coaching journey. But yeah, as far as it goes, I had an amazing time. The coaching team was brilliant. Charlotte, the organiser, Tan as well, they were both brilliant. Everything was so organised to the point, and it made my life so easy. Like, other than planning my workshops and, you know, being a great coach, that was pretty much all I had to think about. And, you know, when you go into a job, you don't want it to be stressful. You don't want to, like, have to guess things. There was no guessing. I knew exactly what was going on, exactly what I needed to do. And as long as I fulfilled that role, job's a good one. And job was a good one, so yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You taught a workshop. On the first day, you started with, like, line building for beginners.
Yeah.
Or, like, transitional movements and stuff. Then you also coached, line building in the afternoon when I joined. And you were assisting, like when you weren't coaching, you would assist another person's workshop. And then we had the conditioning. And then the second day you taught the side flips or flips and stuff.
Yeah, second day I assisted all morning. Then we had a lunch break, and then I did a 2-hour side flip workshop, but I split it into an hour of like rolls and dive rolls. We did some 180 dive rolls.
That was fun.
Yeah, we also did like the inwards 360 dive roll. I don't know the name of it, but it's sick. And then the second hour we did some side flips, and, you know, people were really getting it actually. And people looked like they were enjoying themselves. And I think I kind of know that I did a sort of good job, because people were quite flat at lunchtime. The vibe was quite low. I think people were tired from the day before, tired from the morning, but then when we started doing flips, people seemed to pick up, and there was a really nice energy in the room. And I'm just really grateful that I was able to facilitate that and, you know, sort of guide them in that direction. So we ended on a good high.
You were great. Yeah, you were great. And someone even said to you that your energy was really good.
Yeah, which is so sweet. that's like the best compliment I've ever had in my whole entire life. I just think
We
that's so
haven't-
nice.
We've been a bit like maybe even burnt out. We've been doing so much. And actually what we used to say to each other, which we should remind ourselves of, is like, I think we said this before Leuven, which is so long ago now. Like what is it, May right now?
Yeah, February.
Yeah, we went in February. That's so long ago. I think it was before Leuven that we said to each other, was it Leuven? Or was it Project Underground? It was Project Underground. We said to each other, like, we want to go in and we just want to be good vibes.
Yeah,
Like,
Project Underground.
Yeah, Project Underground. Because we were nervous for ourselves.
Yeah.
And also Project Underground is somewhere that, like, you know, people get injured a lot, and we were like just a bit nervous.
Yeah.
But we were like, right, the one thing, and nervous of the pressure that we wanted to perform up.
Yeah, I had high expectations for myself that day, so that shifted my perspective. It was nice to actually just say to each other, right, we just want to be good vibes. Like, no matter what our movement is like, we could be shit and we could come last, but as long as we go in, be good vibes, be good people, our job is done, and you know, we've had a good time.
Yeah, we didn't want to be that person that's like, oh, my line or my whatever, my skill round went really bad, and just being really sulking about it. We were like, we know that, you know, the person that we are on the podcast is exactly how we are in real life, but like we come across very positive. We want to be positive. We are positive people, but like we really wanted, even stepping into quite an intimidating environment, like
quite an intense environment as well. Like, you know, I think everybody has the same perception that they want to perform, and they're stressed about their own performance. And because I guess of the SPL qualifiers, like it is a stressful situation, and people expect so much of themselves. So yeah, it was nice for us to.
So and this weekend you had the pressure of performing, but I think I brought good vibes actually, and
you did,
and obviously you did, which is what we were saying. But like, I think I did too, because I was just along as a participant. I didn't necessarily know who was going to be there. I knew one or two people from my workshops were coming, so that was really nice to see them, like Sarah and Kate showed up, and a few people from my workshops, but
a few people had been to Whip pretty much every year, I think.
Yeah.
This was like the 10th year that they've ran it, 10-year anniversary.
Yes, exactly.
And I think
11 years since the first one, but there was 1 year in COVID where they couldn't do it. So that's why it's like, this is the 10th actual event they've run, Yeah,
so there's a lot of people who've pretty much been for 10 years, which is nice.
Yeah, and I guess, so what I was, because you were coaching, I just went and made friends, and that was really nice, like just chatting to loads of new people, mainly new people, but also like some people I'd met before, and I wasn't consciously thinking like I need to bring good vibes, but I hope I did. I think I did.
You did, definitely.
And I think that's kind of how we want to go to events, is like, it can be intimidating to go to an event. We're aware of that, but it's like, we feel that too. But then it's just like, actually, this is for fun. Everyone here wants to be here for fun. And if someone, I don't know, if you're not chatting to anyone, just look. I often look around, I'm like, who can I go up to and chat to? And go and chat to someone new.
And I think that shows, because we always come away with like really good friendships. Like when we went to Leuven, I didn't know Lotta or Maria, and you know, I made great connections with them. The same as you made great connections this weekend. So even if you don't go for training, like it's such a good idea just to go for like the vibes.
Yeah, I felt like I got closer to Noha, who's someone who trains at Parkour Generation, who I'd met a few times, but I actually had some good chats with her. I also want to check that it's still recording. It is. Okay, great. Because we don't normally use my phone for this.
Yeah, my bad, guys. I was just coughing my head off.
Right. What else do we want to say about the event? Or,
I mean, Sani was brilliant. I will just shout out Sani one more time. Just lovely, lovely person. I've never met her. And to be honest, I'd never heard of her until I realised that I was coaching with her. You know, so then like followed her on Instagram. Met her on Friday for like the recce day, kind of like the test run, so to say. And just lovely people. Like, I'm so grateful that, you know, I know Tan and we're very good friends, but Sani and Charlotte I'd never met before. And, you know, it's always a bit strange to go into a situation where you don't really know the people that you're working with. But, like, straight away, it was like we'd met. We all, you know, got on really well. And Charlotte looked after the coaching team really well, which I'm also really grateful for. So, yeah, it was just brilliant. And I hope this is, like, the start of a really good journey for me.
Yeah, and the event happens once a year. It happens always in May, usually like the first or second weekend in May. It is a women's only event. It is open to trans and non-binary as well. But yeah, it is one of those spaces that is like trying to create basically just something different. It's once a year where it's like, okay, this is a women's only space, and for those that need it, for whatever reason, it could be to do with trauma, it could be to do with religious reasons, it could be also to do with like just being a beginner and wanting a female coach and wanting a less sort of competitive environment, even though I understand that maybe men don't mean it to be competitive, but it can just feel very overwhelming when guys are kind of bouncing off walls like it's nothing. Like my ex-boyfriend would do warm-ups, would be jumping in his warm-up doing jumps that I dream of doing. Like it's just so different, the level. Like
yeah, that's what I did love actually. Like people were just bouncing off each other, especially in the intermediate and advanced group. Like everybody was sharing ideas, everybody was like working on things together. Not so much in the beginner group because obviously they're sort of learning that kind of way and learning the basic skills and then
they're still
applying
like having
them.
they're still having to concentrate so much on like what they're doing.
So like their thought process isn't open to like the wider world, but for the advanced who are very comfortable and want to make connections and want to challenge themselves, it was so nice to just see everybody working together and thinking really creatively. And especially as a coach, that's the kind of environment that I wanted to create, especially when I did the line building workshop, giving them like certain prompts. We did like, you had to ban your 3 favourite moves, you had to make a line, ban 3 favourite moves, you only had to use your opposite side, so bad side. And, you know, like it was really nice to just see people's brains working and figuring out the problems that I was given, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was a spot that didn't massively inspire me when we got there, but because of those constraints that you put on us, actually then it suddenly felt like, okay, well, I'm going to do this because I can't do anything else. Like it suddenly made things easier to find.
Yeah, you did a cool skill on the wall, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, and the handstand. I don't know what it's called, but like handstand to bridge.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Rachel Go move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like a cartwheel up onto the wall, spin on the wall, and then come back down. But like you broke it down really well, and it was nice to actually see you think quite creatively. I've never seen you sort of, or firsthand, I've never seen you kind of think that way. So it was nice and refreshing.
It was also on a downhill slope, which made it even harder.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do it on a flat surface. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to Overgravity, the indoor gym.
Oh, nice.
I might just try it there because there'll be no slope, no hill.
You do your muscle ups.
I'm doing my muscle ups tomorrow at Overgravity, but then also I can do some handstands.
We both did a muscle up workshop on Friday, right? Or
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's Thursday night.
It feels like so long ago, doesn't it?
What has happened?
But we're both like trying to learn a muscle up, more specifically for the ADAPT Level 2 assessment, the coaching qualification.
Also, it's so cool to be able to do one.
And yeah, like it's cool as fuck.
Like for me, it's like get this muscle up done this year because it's close, but also like bar muscle up, and then I would love to learn I always forget the name. Upstart.
Oh yeah. Like a gymnastics.
Yeah, because that's quite good in a line. Like if
they seem really useful.
Yeah, people use them. You see that way more in a line than a bar muscle up.
Yeah, but we're both like really close, and you know the class was brilliant. We learned a lot from it.
Yeah, shout out to Shirin. Some people in London will know who Shirin is. She doesn't do parkour. She's tricker, but she's
so cool. She's so strong and like.
I'm glad because it was my idea, and I follow her and know her. And Megan was. I forgot you were coming. So then when Megan was coming to stay, I was like, yeah, I've booked this private class on Thursday night, but it's muscle up, so do you want to come? Because I know obviously you're working on bar muscle up, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool. So then we did a 2-to-1 coaching session, which actually I thought was like, when I realised that was like that you were coming, I was like, this is perfect. So I knew who she was, but you basically knew nothing about it and just showed up.
Yeah, like you sent her Instagram over. And
I'm glad you thought she was cool.
So sick.
So strong.
So strong,
like
so
when I did
knowledgeable.
That to her, at one point, you just feel like tudum, like all her muscles.
Yeah. But she was so knowledgeable and like, you know, as like a newly qualified PT myself, like it was nice to actually like learn a bit off her and kind of like the things that I can apply to my own clients eventually and things like that. But
I think it's really good without obsessing over it, but I think it's good on occasion to be the client.
Yeah. 100%.
I think you learn a lot about the way they approach you, the way they say hello, the way they teach things, the cues they give, how much information they give. Like, it's really hard to know what that feels like unless you experience it. So, you know, I think if you can, it is good to be the client sometimes, to just be like, that was great, or that was, I've had situations where I'm like, maybe not in one-to-one specifically, but more in like when I used to go to fitness classes a bit more, where I've been like, that was an amazing class, or that was a shit class. And just, it's good to notice, because don't get me wrong, we're not perfect. Like I would have done shit classes sometimes too, probably, but it's good to be able to notice and reflect both on your own classes or when you're sitting listening to someone else's class or experiencing someone else's class, like to notice why it was shit or why it was great, and then take those things. Like,
yeah, I always find that the best coaches and the best athletes have gained so much information from so many different people. Like, I would always encourage one of my students to maybe go and, you know, see what a class is like in a different place, or, you know, encourage a coach to go and actually observe another class somewhere else. Like, I'm grateful for the experience I've had with multiple coaches and watching multiple sessions and assisting multiple sessions, you know, like watching Tan and Sani this weekend has been really nice to gain like the knowledge about how they coach and they approach things, and like you said, the amount of information that they give and things like that. So I would always encourage anybody to just gain as much information from as many different people as you can.
Yeah. And shout out to Finn, was that his name?
Yeah, he said he teaches at London Parkour School. I'm not sure whether he's like a lead coach there or an assistant coach, but he was assisting this weekend on the Sunday. And throughout my flips workshop, he was brilliant. He had a great balance between like giving feedback and giving encouragement, and his feedback was like quality feedback as well. When I was kind of observing him give the feedback, I was like, that's right, like sick, like yeah.
I liked him, yeah, because when I first arrived, I didn't know he was going to be there. I'd never met him before, and of course my first instinct was like, oh, there's a dude. Like, it's funny because I'm like the least precious about being in women's only spaces. Like, I am the type of person that's absolutely fine going into a mixed setting and always have, and that's how I started parkour. Like, they're not aimed at me, but even I was like, oh, there's a dude, okay. And then actually he was great because he wasn't quiet and like trying to disappear and be out of the way. He was fully engaged and part of the group, but without being too much.
Yeah.
He striked a good balance. Like, he was doing his job and doing it well, but he wasn't the loudest person in the room and he wasn't overstepping. And at one point we were doing a warm-up, which was like a competitive game of like tag, and there was 2 teams essentially, and everyone had got tagged and there was just him left on his team and then like 3 or 4 women on the other team, and that now needed to tag him, and he was just there like surely I can't win, like, because I'm at women's event. He literally said it out loud. He was like, surely I can't win, like this is women's event. And as he was saying that, he got distracted and they tagged him, and he was like, oh, he
took me out.
Yeah.
So technically,
he took you out.
Technically, I should have stayed in.
But yeah, so he was like making a slight joke, but also like genuinely he was like, oh, I feel a bit like I can't win this. Not that there was still like 5 women on the other team, but it was just him left on his team, and he was like, oh shit. And then he got tagged, so that was that. But no, I thought he was very understanding and respectful of the fact that like he was kind of a guest in our space.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely fine if it's the right person. Like, same with the photographer.
Yeah.
Whitpo's had the same photographer for years now, probably more than 5 years. And it's always Pavel, who's this Polish guy but somehow he just does it right. Like, he barely says a word. He kind of almost blends into the furniture. And Charlotte always says, like, if he's ever taking a picture of you and you feel uncomfortable, you're trying to break a jump and it's annoying you, you might want the sick photo. But if you don't, she just like boot him away or just say like go, and he would be like so like, oh my god, yeah, sorry, and just go. But equally, you know, with events like this, we need photos of them. I'm a big advocate of like, we really need more photos and videos of women doing parkour, because all the women I've interviewed have said if we see that there's a woman there, we're more likely to go. So if women online see that there are women doing parkour, or like if the coaching companies like Parkour Generation post photos of women to advertise their classes, women are more likely to go. And the reason that's important is we know that parkour is still a sport that women think isn't for them, just because they think like it's jumping on walls and I can't do that. And it's like, no, parkour is so much more than that. And we want to just make sure that for those women that do want to do it, that they see that they can do it.
Yeah, and they were just both like really sound guys, like really lovely guys. I didn't chat to Finn as much as I would have liked, but I chatted to the photographer a little bit, and he was just lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what, made them fit in so well, because they were just so genuine. But in terms of, like, Finn as an assistant, like, I think an assistant is actually quite a hard job to do, especially if you're a bit unsure. You can sometimes feel like you might be, like, a bit in the way, or you're not too sure what feedback to give or when to give it and things like that. But he really hit the nail on the head. And I was very grateful for that, and I hope that, Sani and Tan thought the same, and if he did a good job with them. But yeah, he was really brilliant, and it was just so nice to see.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out to Lynn, who was the other assistant.
Yeah, she
From
was
Edinburgh?
lovely.
Yeah, I think from Edinburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a PT. I don't know if she does much parkour coaching, but she definitely trains as, like, an athlete, parkour athlete.
Yeah, she trains, with the, like, Edinburgh parkour community, or maybe with Access Parkour.
Yeah, but she was just really lovely. Like, got to know her really well over the weekend, had lots of nice chats because she was there all 3 days. Yeah, I'm just so grateful that, everybody was so nice, and there was no one that I thought, like, oh, you're a bit odd.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was just so genuine.
Yeah, it was good. And the participants actually as well. It was actually a really good group this year.
Yeah.
Everyone was really good vibes. Like, I almost feel bad I didn't have a chance to speak to everyone. I tried to say hello at least to everyone, but it is hard. Like, 35, it doesn't sound like a lot of people, but actually it's really hard to, like, have a conversation with all of those people. Really enjoyed chatting with Becky, who's, like, 48, started parkour in her 40s.
Shout out Becky.
She was great. She was in the advanced group.
Woman.
Yeah, lives in Italy. Amazing Italian. I have never in my life heard someone who is fully British speak. Like, I thought she was Italian. I genuinely thought
Did you speak to her in Italian?
Yeah. I thought she was Italian and had moved to London and spoke English quite well. Because that I have seen more, like, Italians with a really good English accent.
Oh, no, she did have quite a, like, London English.
Yeah. And
Coming from a northern.
And she is British.
Yeah.
But, like, I've more often seen someone who's fully Italian move to London and then have quite good English. Like, very good accent. Not always. But I've never seen the opposite. Someone English learn Italian and actually nail the accent.
Yeah.
Her Italian was like, I mean, she's lived there 18 years, but still. And she's married to an Italian. She has 3 kids,
so I
teenagers.
assume all her children are Italian.
They're Italian, born in Italy. They probably have a British passport
Is
as
her
well.
partner Italian?
Yeah. And so she's lived there 18 years. So yeah, anyway, her Italian was amazing. But she also does parkour, was in the advanced group.
Yeah,
was doing, like,
she was
dash to
amazing,
Kong and, like, genuinely
like,
training.
big prees, like,
Yeah.
really getting involved and really, like,
good
soaking
vibes.
up the knowledge,
Yeah, and good vibes. Really nice person. And yeah, it's just 3 teenagers who also do, like, her son does parkour, her daughters do it as well as, like, their main hobby is something else. I forgot what it is now, but they do a parkour class once a week, whereas her son is more engaged, more keen to do parkour.
Yeah.
And she does it.
Yeah.
It's so
so
cool.
cool.
That's
so
another cool mum. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm inspired.
I realised that we haven't got an underrated athlete that we've prepared.
We haven't prepared it.
So, my thinking is, why don't we pick an underrated person from this weekend
Ooh.
that we thought either, like, good vibes, nice person, or, like, we were impressed with their, like, physical strength or something like that. So, have a little think. I've definitely got mine.
You've got someone.
Yeah.
Underrated person from this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have a few people in mind, actually.
Okay.
Why don't you go first? Let's see.
Okay, so my underrated... Well, it might not even be underrated. Let's just call it person. Person of the weekend.
Stand out to you, person, yeah.
Star person of the weekend. Anna. Gonna be Anna.
As you were talking, I was like, you're going to say
I don't know what her second name is. Forgive me, but...
Anna Sakilaru. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Greek.
Yeah, she is Roberto's partner from PK Gen. She's a dancer, right?
Yeah, professional dancer.
She coached at Whitwer last year, I'm pretty sure. She was just lovely, like, great vibes. Again, wanted to just soak up as much knowledge as possible. She was really funny as well, so I had...
She has these big eyes.
Yeah.
Like, really round, big eyes. So when she's talking to you, when she's, like, making a joke, she really looks at you, and it's even funnier.
Yeah, she was brilliant and so lovely and made, like, great connections with other people as well. So
She's
Yeah,
such
she
a
was
nice
she was
person.
standout for me.
Yeah, she's going to be at IG this summer. I'm going to IG as
Awesome.
well. International gathering in Denmark. So her, Roberto, and Lily are going again. Lily's Roberto's 6-year-old, and they went last year as well. And they had such a good time with Lily as well. Like, you know, bringing a 5-year-old to parkour event is like quite hard, but they managed well, and they've managed to create a really good family unit, whilst also, you know, Lily's mum is involved as well. Like, they've navigated that really well, and that is also inspiring. Like, I always talk about mums, and I'm very inspired by mums, but I'm really inspired by them as well, as how they've sort of separated and now have their own separate partners, but have managed to create a family for Lily that's just like a bigger family. So that's really cool. Anna's, she's in the vlog. If you watch our vlog on YouTube, Anna shows up.
Yeah, short cameo in the middle.
She's funny. She's great. And mine would be Noha, who also trains at Parkour Generations. And she's just someone who you could easily go missed, because she's a little bit short, quite quiet, like easy to miss her with the headscarf.
Yes.
Yeah. And she was in my group, in the advanced group. Very good. Yeah. She was doing the palm spin. She was having me with the palm spin.
She was brilliant.
She's good. And just like good energy. We also had some chats at lunch. I asked the girls, like, just because I'm currently writing an article, it's kind of on my mind more about women in parkour, and it's not the only thing I think about in life, but because I am writing an article, it's obviously on my mind. And whenever I'm sat with women, I'm kind of like, I really want to hear your perspective, because when you're writing an article, you can write an opinion piece, but the way I'm writing at the moment is a lot more about trying to bring in other people's perspectives and like almost collate like what women in parkour feel, not just what I feel. And so when I sat at lunch with 5 women in front of me, I was like, I'm curious what you think about how to create more inclusive spaces in parkour and how to create spaces that feel welcoming to women. And they were kind of saying, like, the thing is, when you speak to women who like them, who already do parkour, we are those kind of people that will just do it and will just show up and do it. So we're kind of we're not the people that are looking at parkour and thinking they want to do it but not doing it. We're the ones that do it anyway. So it's, you know, it's actually,
I think
to learn, to understand the barriers, though, I feel like I also need to find the people who are not doing it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, that's a key takeaway. Be a doer.
Yeah.
Be a doer. I think.
Well, something Georgia from FemGap said to me the other day that I was like, oh, that's so powerful. We were reflecting on a question which was, what do you wish... It was in preparation for a Q&A, and we'd been told the questions in advance. And one of them, well, we'd been told kind of the gist of the questions in advance. And one was, what do you wish someone had told you before you started parkour that you know now? And George's answer, it kind of moved me. It was like, I wish people had told me how nice everyone is, how welcoming the community would be. And I was like, and my jaw almost dropped, because I was like, I don't know, that's not what came to my mind at all, because I wasn't thinking along that line of thought. I was thinking more about parkour, the movement and the sport and the movements we do. And so she, like, straight away, she was just like, I wish people had told me how welcoming people are, because had I known that, I probably would have started earlier.
I agree with that. So not necessarily from a perspective of starting, because I started so young, you know, what can people tell me at that age? Yeah. Like, you know, I was 10, so...
How much earlier could you have started? Like,
But in terms of, like, events and things like that, like, I used to be so shy, not wanting to take up any space, not wanting to go to these events, thinking I wasn't good enough, that kind of thing. So I wish, like, someone had said to me, people are so supportive and so lovely, and people want you to be there, and people want you to take up space and be a part of the community. So I fully agree with that 100%. And now I've seen the flip side of it, and I see what it's like, and I enjoy it so much. You know, I missed out on like 3 years of enjoyment because of that. So don't waste your time. Get at it, guys.
Yeah, come to the events. And look, I'm sure in the world there exist events where people have had negative experiences,
100%.
but fuck them, fuck that event, and go to a different one, because there are lots of great events. And we're always talking on here about what events we've been to or are going to, so we can give you loads of ideas of events to go to. I mean, the next one is FemGaps next weekend, 16th, 17th of May, literally next weekend. It's mental. This month is mental.
Then we're going to Copenhagen.
The weekend after, we're going to be in Copenhagen. I can't wait.
Your head coach.
Yes.
George's head coach.
And I love Copenhagen. such a great city. I'm excited for you to see it.
If anyone knows Pitch Perfect, have you watched Pitch Perfect?
Yeah, but so long ago.
Oh, it's
Can't remember
anytime
anything.
anybody says Copenhagen, there's like a quote. It's like, "We're going to Copenhagen." It's so funny.
I need to see this clip.
Yeah.
We're going to Copenhagen, and I can't wait for us to like go to all the coffee shops and just have a really nice time. We've got like 2 days to chill, fully chill, and then 2 days of event.
Yeah. Then it's my birthday, guys. I'm turning 20.
Yeah. 20. We're going to do a
Yeah.
big 21st though.
Oh
year.
yeah, next year. Come on, guys.
Going
We're
to
going
Japan.
on a big parkour trip.
We're going to Japan.
Yeah.
We just decided this morning.
At breakfast, over watching this vlog. Yeah, we're going to Japan.
Yeah,
apparently.
so we can visit Hikari
Yeah.
and go to Japan.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Mm.
But yeah, you're going to turn 20 next week. No, the week after Copenhagen, whatever that is. 3 weeks time.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything?
I don't know.
You might go to Sweden,
Yeah, I might go to Sweden.
just because.
I'm
fun.
after speaking to, what's her name?
Cecilia?
Cecilia. Yeah.
Cecilia? Yeah.
Yeah, she was lovely. So she recommended me
She was
a
at the
lot of
event.
places to be and to go to and
Sick.
go
In
and train with
Stockholm.
her and
In
things like
Stockholm.
that. So yeah.
That'd be cool. And so those are some events that are coming up. So CPG in Copenhagen is a women's event in Copenhagen, women and
Yeah.
non-binary. And then June, I'm at American Rendezvous. There's loads of
Yeah.
events. June has Holding Hands in Prague.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a maybe. I might go, but yeah,
Yeah.
American Rendezvous, I'll be there.
Then there's the British Championships. Whether you want to compete or not, I imagine it's going to be a fantastic event, even
Yeah,
if you aren't
we'll definitely be
competing.
attending.
Yeah, we're 100% going to be there. I'll 100% compete.
Yeah.
Then
I've
after
got-
that is
yeah.
IG.
IG International Gathering, and there's so many more we've skipped. Like so many more. There's like Helldam in Finland. There's Keeper Jam. Oh, I don't know. when that's happening.
OMFG, yeah.
OMFG. Like
Gizmo
there's
battles.
So
This
many
is
events.
all sorts. All sorts.
Gizmo in Hamburg is the same weekend as the Copenhagen event. Otherwise, I'd be going because I've never seen Gizmo in person, and I just really want to see it.
Yeah. It's overwhelming. The amount
Swings
of
and other
things that you can
things
do,
in
yeah.
the end of August. We want to go to that. There is so many events, but you know our Instagram. DM us if you want any tips of which event to pick.
Yeah.
We'll keep updating you on where we're going.
But the point
So you
is,
can
pick one. Just pick
Pick
one.
one and go. And
You get to see the world as well, so it's
yeah,
nice.
exactly. Actually, one of the girls that comes to my workshop, I chatted to her this weekend at Whipware, and she said, "Yeah, I went to the Athens Parkour Gathering, which was like a couple weekends
Sick.
ago." She was like, "Do you know what? I think I'm going to start traveling like that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, I took my husband with me. He didn't do the parkour part, but we would just meet up afterwards and visit Athens." And I was like,
Oh,
sick. She's
that's
like,
so
yeah, I think I might
cute.
just start booking trips and when there's an event, and then also like have an extra day or two to visit the city or visit the place. I'm like, sick, yeah, that's actually what a lot of people in parkour do, and
Yeah.
it gives you this in where like you go to an event and you meet locals. They tell you where to eat. They tell you about the place. You learn so much more. I'm someone who I kind of hate tourism and I hate going to tourist attractions or tourist traps. So having this thing like parkour, like a hobby an interest that like gets you straight into meeting the locals is
It's
actually
also
really
an excuse
useful.
to go as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, why the hell were we in Bedford last week? Obviously, you know,
Yeah.
Bedford's not a destination
But we
to
wouldn't
go
have
to.
ended
But
up in Leuven either. Like,
exactly.
it's not a town that you go and visit. It is beautiful, but it's not really a town you go and visit.
There's so many places where people are and communities are, and those communities suck you in and drag you there, and you come out of that experience for the better and having experienced such a beautiful place most of the time. So yeah.
Right, well, me and Megan can keep chatting forever, but we've done our underrated athlete of the week.
Yeah.
We will tag them on Instagram as well so they know. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the podcast. We really appreciate it. Thank you to those who most recently, in the last 24 hours, donated to FemGaps. FemGaps is a free jam because we know we wanted to create something free, but also we know people have to spend money to travel to London and pay for hostels and things like that. So we wanted to make sure the event was free. But when you register on our website, femgaps.com, you can also have the option to donate, and that is open whether you're coming to the event or not. And so a few guys have donated just in light of the recent events that have been unfolding in parkour. So just because they wanted to support a women's event. So a massive thank you to those people. You know who you are and we know who you are. So we see it, we thank you, and really appreciate that. So because FemGaps is completely funded, me and Isabel and maybe even a few other people are Georgia out of pocket, and we're happy to do it because we want to do it. But like, it isn't funded. There is no funding from any organisation. So we've paid for certain things that we needed at the event. I'm not saying what they are because there's some surprises and I don't want to ruin those surprises. But yeah, we're really happy to do it. So, we also are grateful for the donations we have received. So thank you for that. And yeah, thank you for supporting Breaking Barriers. If you want to give us a bit of support, go check out our YouTube channel. There's nothing on there yet, but
there will be.
By the end of this month, you want to get the vlogs out.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to sort of go on a different venture, try different things out. We're obviously going to keep going with the podcast, keep pushing it, but, you know, I've never made vlogs before, you have, but yeah, it's nice to
they're edited, they're done.
Thing, yeah.
They are done. So we're creating an intro and outro, like, animation, but the vlogs are edited, so they're coming out, they definitely will. Yeah, so thank you for listening. As we always say, remember to follow us on Spotify, leave a 5-star review or a star review is amazing if you can, and just gives the podcast a bit of validity. And if you think anyone else would enjoy this, please share it with them. Let us know that you're listening. You know, it's nice to hear who is listening. So yeah, that's it from us for this week. Do you want to add anything?
Follow us on Instagram at Breaking Barriers Podcast _
Yeah, Megan puts a lot of effort into our like carousels and things like that, and our Instagram is still a wee little Instagram account.
Yes,
we get more listens on Spotify actually than Instagram.
We do, yeah.
Followers. So yeah.
Anyway, we will see you next week, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.